And we are rolling. Go.
Um, Abigail seems to be one of the most interesting members of the Getty family. What did you do in your research to get into the part?
Well, I really actually, there were two books that Simon Beaufoy gave me, and Christian Colson, the producer, and I read those books. I found the family fascinating and the history that I learned, because all I had heard about was about the kidnapping quite some time ago. And then I just actually read what Simon wrote in the scripts. It was so beautifully fleshed out and so rich and dynamic and anchored. You know, she's really the emotional anchor of the story, and I just got in touch with what he wrote. Really, he's astounding. He's a beautiful writer. One of my favorites, in fact.
The series has been in development and in pre-production for a long time, and a long time before a certain movie came out about the same subject matter. Was there any trepidation with the release dates for you? Did you feel like you don't want to be compared to a movie?
No, I remember we were actually, filming approximately the same time, but because ours was a show, it went much longer, and I think it's actually a compliment that there's a story that's so rich and kind of complex that people wanted. Two great filmmakers, Ridley Scott and Danny Boyle, wanted to make the story. I mean, it doesn't really get any better than those two. So to me, it was great company, but also so different, because a movie, it can only take place in 2 or less hours, and so you can only really kind of explore it in a finite amount of time. And then with the show, we can really dive deep into different types of emotions and facets of a bunch of different characters, not just a few. And the show doesn't just deal with the kidnapping; it deals with really the Getty dynasty over a 3-year span of time. So it's going to be very different.
And we've only seen the first 3 episodes. How much is the series delving into Abigail's struggle in terms of the whole financial situation in that family?
Well, you guys, I come in really heavy in episode 4, of course, because you guys haven't gotten there yet. And then on, and it definitely deals with the struggles and the horror of your child being kidnapped and what that does to you emotionally. I don't think that there's probably a worse nightmare that you can be living without the knowledge of where your child is and what could possibly be happening to them. Especially, we all know the story of the ear that was sent back, and I don't think that there really could be anything worse that a mother could experience. So I can only imagine the harrowing times that they experienced.
And you have a long history with your co-star, Donald Sutherland.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about this?
It's quite funny, isn't it? My very first movie, I was just 16 years old, was Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and he was in it as well. And I just thought, what is my luck? My first movie with Donald Sutherland, and it was quite a funny, silly movie. But now, to circle back around after all this time and experience that I've had in the business, to be working with him again, he's still the same giving, intense in the most beautiful way, present, specific person, one of the most specific people I've ever met. And to me, that's what makes great art, is specificity. So I just adore him as a human. He wears his heart on his sleeve, and I really appreciate that, especially with all he's been through, that he's still so vulnerable and open.
Did he remember you?
Yeah, he did. We were joking because I told him, you said to me that I should think about acting less with my forehead. And he goes, I did? That sounds like something I would say. So he didn't remember saying that, but he remembered me from the movie.
What did he mean by that?
Well, I was playing a valley girl, so I was probably like, oh, that's so 5 minutes ago, and I was probably, moving my forehead around. It was not quite the most subtle character I was playing, so I think that was an okay note for that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's go to Stanville. That's right.